Closed captioning for great tastes is presented by Manitoba Pulse and Soybean Growers, growing pulses and soybeans for the health of people and the environment. Manitoba Liquor Mart presents Great Tastes of Manitoba. Great Tastes is brought to you by GreatTastesMB.ca. Local farms, local foods. Great Tastes is sponsored by the Government of Canada and Manitoba Agriculture through the Canadian Agricultural Partnership. Welcome to Great Tastes of Manitoba. My name is Des Daniels, your host tonight, and it is all about Manitoba pulse and soybean growers this evening. You may think it's difficult to cook with pulses. Our mission tonight is to show you that it is actually completely pulsable.
Oh, I love it.
Good night, I'm done. No. Welcome, Chef Gordon Bailey.
Thank you.
We're going to walk through our recipes in a second. Aaron Allblast, Manitoba Liquor Mart's going to do some beverage pairings for us tonight. It is totally possible to cook with pulses, and we've got some very exciting recipes that we're going to make up tonight. Why don't you walk us through them?
Sure, yeah. This one that we're going to first start with is a chickpea crusted pizza skillet.
Right on. And we actually do the whole thing in a skillet. So
we're going to do the whole thing in a skillet. You can do it in a cast iron, you can do it in a non-stick. It doesn't really matter because the pan gets built, completely pizza toppings on there into the oven and comes right out from there.
So that's recipe number one. Recipe number two would be?
Recipe number two is we're going to be doing a salt cod and white bean brandade. This one's near and dear to my heart because it's got a very kind of rustic, sort of French flavor to it.
Sweet. Cool. And then number three is?
Number three, we got to go down and homey with some granola bars. We're going to make them with red lentils.
Okay, there you go. Completely pulsable. What are you thinking?
We're going to do a little bit of everything. We're going to do some wine. We're going to do a martini. I know you like to get really creative. So I got creative with the pairings. We're going to do a little bit of myth busting too.
Perfect. Okay, see you in a few. So yeah, you're excited about this
first
recipe.
I wanted to just jive right into it.
Well, let's do it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our chickpea flour.
Okay, and I want to just start with the chickpeas. Yes, flour. These are super high health, right? Very, very nutritious. Very good with, is it weight loss?
Yeah, they aid in digestion, help in weight loss, high in protein, great amount of nutrients in them. And the kicker is, for all those pizza lovers that are celiac, this is gluten-free.
This is the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
So I'm just going to take my chickpea flour, which you can get at any grocery store.
It's easy to find?
Oh, it's easy to find, yeah,
okay.
100%.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt. What I wanted to do was take the flour, add the water just till you get a batter-like consistency.
It looks like pancake batter.
Yeah, totally. It looks like pancake batter. Almost cooks quite the same, actually.
Cool.
So a little bit of salt, and of course, I always like to have a little bit of color and a little bit of freshness with some fresh chopped parsley.
Parsley.
Yeah.
Okay, now what?
Now we're going to go to the pan. We're going to do a little bit of canola oil in the pan just to make sure that you're not going to have any sticking.
Sure.
Okay. And then we're going to take our batter, pour that right into the pan.
And already
you can hear that sizzle, right? So yeah, you want to make sure that this pan is not smoking hot, but you want to make sure that it's preheated so that when you add your batter, it already starts to...
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, already starts to cook.
And you were saying it takes look, it's already starting to kind of set up.
Yeah, it's already starting. Yeah, the proteins are starting to gelatinize. So what you're looking for here is you're going to see that much like when you're cooking a pancake, you start to see those little air pockets dissipate.
Yeah.
The batter will start to look almost like a crepe.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then that's when we're ready to add our toppings.
Okay, and I love that we're doing the whole thing right in the pan for starters anyways. We're just going to start putting our toppings on there right away.
Yeah, and the toppings I have here today, and this can vary. If you're very traditional with your pizza toppings, you want to go like pepperoni, mozzarella, tomatoes.
Do it up?
Do it up, okay? I just thought for the time of year, I wanted to keep it kind of nice and warm, a little bit homey in flavor, so I have some caramelized onions. Mm-hmm. I have some roasted beets, which just intensifies that sweetness.
I've actually made pizza with roasted beets, and it is really, really good. So I'm excited to see how this finishes up, because it's wonderful.
Well, yeah, and they have that really kind of earthy, sweet flavor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're looking for more savory kind of style pizza, it's a really good go-to.
And, of course, these are peak of the market beets, another locally grown product that we use on the show all the time.
Yeah, and onions, too.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, so you see that you're starting to get those air pockets, and it's starting to set, right? We are good for our toppings. So you can go as much or as little as you like. I really enjoy the flavor of caramelized onions. Mm-hmm. So
So you can't put too much? Is that what
you
you're telling us?
can't put too much. I put a
Right.
schwack on there.
This Ukrainian is very happy about that information.
Good. Okay, and then we're gonna go with our roasted beets. So when I'm doing the beets, I wrap them in tinfoil individually, roast them at 350 for usually about 45 minutes or so.
Do you pierce them? Like, do you puncture them with a fork or anything ahead of time?
You know what? I don't. I simply just wrap them. I don't oil them or season them or anything
Just
like
put them
that.
in tin foil.
Tin foil in the oven, and then I'll pierce them just to make sure that they're done. I'll
I
take my
see.
paring knife just once you have no resistance,
Okay.
you can pull them out. And I
Okay.
leave them in the foil for about 45 minutes prior to peeling because the steam helps release the skin off the beet.
Okay, yeah,
which is
that's
great.
right. Yeah, because sometimes peeling those suckers is a bit of a.
Can be a bit of a chore,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna put these all sort of categorically on our chickpea crust.
And then we've got, looks like feta.
We've got feta. Once again, you can choose any cheese
Mm-hmm.
you want. I figured this one with the roasted beets, the caramelized
Right.
onions, that sort of saltiness from the feta would just be a really nice little touch.
So we've got some feta, and then we're also working on, I'm seeing some fresh herbs over there.
You know what? I'm a herby kind of guy, okay?
Okay.
I love using herbs. For this one, I want to add a little bit of fresh thyme. Okay?
All
and
right.
then
I see one more over there.
I save this for the very end. When it comes out of the oven, boom, then I add my oregano.
Oregano. Okay, so,
Okay.
and we actually have a finished one in the oven, so you're going to do the tray.
Yeah, I'm
Now
going to cook this one up
goes-
because we want to eat this one.
We want to eat this
Yeah.
one. And we want to eat the other one too, I'm guessing. Let's see what it looks like first, maybe. Da-da-da.
Ta-da!
Lovely. That looks absolutely fantastic. There we go. Chickpea crusted pizza skillet. When we come back, we're going to do a pickerel white bean brandad. Am I saying that right?
It's a salt cod brandad, but it can be
Brandad.
done with pickerel because we are in Manitoba, so
Okay.
yeah.
Don't go anywhere. Great Taste Manitoba. We'll be right back.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by GreatTastesMB.ca. Local farms, local foods.